Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket change. If you love rare coins, American history, or the excitement of discovering something valuable when you
First
least
up, in
expect
today's video, we're talking about one of the most discussed and misunderstood coins in American numismatics, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, especially when the coin is found in damaged condition, and what its real value is in today's market in US dollars. Many people believe every old penny is valuable, but the truth is more detailed, and understanding that difference can save you from false hopes or missed opportunities. The Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and the 1944 issue was produced just after World War II. During the war, copper was needed for military use, so in 1943, the United States Mint made pennies out of steel coated with zinc. In 1944, the mint returned to using bronze, which is mostly copper. Because of this transition, the year 1944 became very important to collectors. Millions of pennies were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and the Philadelphia coins are identified by having no mint mark under the date. A normal 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark is made of bronze and weighs about 3.11 grams. These coins were minted in extremely large numbers, well over 1 billion pieces. Because of that, they are very common even today. When such a coin is found in damaged condition, meaning it has heavy wear, scratches, corrosion, bending, holes, or cleaning marks, its value is usually very low. In today's market, a damaged 1944 Philadelphia wheat penny is typically worth between 2 cents and 25 cents. In some cases, a slightly better but still worn coin might sell for around $1, but that is usually the upper limit for a damaged example. Many people get confused when they hear stories of 1944 pennies selling for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those prices do not apply to normal bronze pennies. They apply to one of the rarest mint errors in U.S. coin history, the 1944 steel wheat penny. These coins were accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. Only a very small number of genuine 1944 steel pennies are known to exist. They look silver gray instead of brown, and most importantly, they are magnetic. If you have a 1944 penny with no mint mark and it sticks to a magnet, that is a very serious sign that it could be a rare steel error. Even if such a coin is worn or lightly damaged, it can still be extremely valuable. Authentic 1944 steel wheat pennies have sold in auctions for prices ranging from tens of thousands of dollars to well over $100,000, depending on condition and authenticity. However, many fake or altered coins exist, so professional authentication is absolutely necessary. It is important to understand that damage affects value differently depending on rarity. For a common coin, like the normal 1944 bronze wheat penny, damage reduces the value almost to face value. For an extremely rare coin like the 1944 steel penny, damage does reduce the price, but it does not destroy the value completely. Rarity always comes first in coin collecting. If you believe you have something unusual, do not clean the coin, do not polish it, and do not rush to sell it. Cleaning a coin can permanently reduce its value. The best step is to have the coin examined by a reputable coin dealer or submitted to a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Authentication is the only way to confirm whether a coin is genuine and to protect its market value.
First up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark is a significant piece of mid-20th century American coinage, representing a period when Lincoln cents were still a central part of everyday transactions. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, which is why collectors refer to it as the wheat penny. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which produced a significant number of Lincoln cents that year. Holding a 1952 D wheat penny allows collectors to connect with post-World War II America, a period of economic growth, societal change, and extensive use of pennies in everyday life. Your coin is described as being in good condition with a black color shade and some scratches. Good condition indicates that the coin has seen heavy circulation but retains the main design elements. On a 1952 D penny in this grade, Lincoln's portrait will show significant wear, with details of the hair, facial features, and coat flattened. The wheat stalks on the reverse will also be worn, though the general outlines remain visible. The black color shade is typical of older pennies that have undergone oxidation over decades, giving the coin a darker appearance. The scratches, while slightly reducing the coin's visual appeal, do not remove its collectible value. Coins in good condition reflect their history of circulation and provide a tangible link to the past. In terms of market value, the 1952 D Lincoln wheat penny in good condition with black toning and some scratches is modestly valuable. The 1952 D is not considered a rare date, but its age, condition, and color shade make it appealing to collectors who appreciate mid-century coins. According to current coin price guides and recent market trends, a 1952 D penny in good condition typically sells for around 10 to 25 cents in today's U.S. market. The black color shade and surface scratches may place it toward the lower end of this range, but the coin still holds value above its original 1-cent face. Coins in higher grades, such as fine or very fine, command higher prices, while uncirculated or mint state examples are more sought after for their preservation and eye appeal. It is important to note that this value applies to standard circulation coins. Rare minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can significantly increase the value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars. The ordinary 1952 D wheat penny, however, is valued primarily for its historical context, age, and condition rather than rarity. Minor scratches and wear do not diminish its historical or educational significance. Instead, they reflect the coin's journey through everyday use. Collectors often appreciate these coins for their authenticity and the story they tell about life in early 1950s America, when pennies were handled extensively and formed part of daily commerce. The color of the coin can also impact its appeal. Copper pennies naturally darken to brown or black over time due to oxidation, and this toning can add character and uniqueness to the coin. While some collectors prefer coins with more original red-brown copper color, naturally toned black coins in good condition remain collectible and tell a story of age and circulation. Scratches and minor surface wear are typical for coins that have been handled for decades, and they enhance the historical narrative of the coin. Owning a 1952 D wheat penny in good condition with black toning and minor scratches provides collectors a tangible link to history. It represents a period when Lincoln's image was a familiar symbol on U.S. coinage, when pennies were central to everyday transactions, and when American coinage reflected both utility and enduring design. While the market value of this coin may be modest, its historical and collectible significance is far greater. Collectors can enjoy examining its design, understanding its circulation history, and appreciate it as a survivor from over 70 years of use.
Next up, in this video, we are looking at the 1947 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, found in good condition but with some scratches, and we will explain its realistic value in today's market in US dollars. This is another very common coin that often creates confusion, especially for people who are new to coin collecting or who find old pennies in jars, drawers, or inherited collections. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was produced from 1909 until 1958, and by the time 1947 arrived, the United States Mint was fully back to normal production after World War II. Copper was no longer restricted, and pennies were again being struck in large quantities using a bronze composition made mostly of copper. The 1947 wheat penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coin, which is the one we are discussing here, has no mint mark under the date. A 1947 wheat penny without a mint mark is made of bronze and weighs approximately 3.11 grams. These coins were produced in very high numbers, with hundreds of millions struck in Philadelphia alone. Because of this massive production, the 1947 no mint mark penny is considered a common date coin. It is still frequently found today in circulated condition, especially in old collections and mixed wheat penny rolls. When we talk about condition, a good condition coin generally means that the main details are visible. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait should be clear, with the date readable and the word Liberty visible, even if it is weak. On the reverse, the wheat stalks should be outlined and the words 1 cent and United States of America should still be readable. If the coin has some scratches, that usually means it has circulated heavily or has been mishandled at some point. Scratches, even light ones, are considered damage and do affect the value. In today's market, a 1947 wheat penny with no mint mark and good circulated condition but with noticeable scratches is not considered rare or high value. Most examples like this typically sell for between 5 cents and 30 cents. If the coin has stronger detail and only light scratches, it might reach around 50 cents. In some cases, collectors may pay close to $1 if the coin has nice color and overall eye appeal despite the scratches, but this is not common. It is important to understand that scratches lower a coin's grade and collector desirability. Even if the coin is not heavily worn, scratches prevent it from being classified as a higher grade collectible. Serious collectors prefer coins without damage, especially when the coin itself is common. Because millions of undamaged 1947 wheat pennies still exist, buyers have no reason to pay a premium for scratched examples. Some people ask whether cleaning the scratches or polishing the coin will improve its value. The answer is no. Cleaning almost always reduces the value of a coin. A cleaned coin loses its original surface, and collectors can easily tell when a coin has been altered. A cleaned 1947 wheat penny is usually worth less than a naturally worn one. There are no known major error varieties or extremely rare versions of the 1947 Philadelphia wheat penny that would dramatically increase its value. Unlike certain earlier wheat pennies or wartime errors, the 1947 issue does not have famous high-dollar mistakes. That means the value is almost entirely based on condition, and for scratched coins, the value stays modest. While this coin may not be valuable in terms of money, it still has historical and collectible value. It represents post-war America and the everyday currency used by millions of people during that time. Many collectors enjoy keeping wheat pennies like this as part of a complete date set or simply for nostalgia.
Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark is a notable example of American coinage from the late 1930s, reflecting both historical significance and collectible value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin displays Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, one of the principal mints producing Lincoln cents during this era. Holding a 1937 S wheat penny allows collectors to connect with pre-World War II America, a period marked by economic recovery following the Great Depression and a time when pennies played a central role in everyday transactions. Your coin is described as being in extra fine condition with some scratches. Extra fine condition indicates that the coin has been lightly circulated, retaining nearly all of its original design details. On a 1937 S penny in this grade, Lincoln's portrait remains sharp, with most hairlines, facial features, and coat details clearly visible. The wheat stalks on the reverse are well defined, with only minor flattening on the high points. The presence of scratches on the surface slightly reduces the coin's visual appeal, but does not diminish its collectible or historical value. Coins in extra fine condition offer a balance between evidence of circulation and the preservation of artistic detail, making them highly desirable for collectors. In terms of market value, the 1937 S wheat penny in extra fine condition with scratches is moderately valuable. The 1937 S is a somewhat less common date than Philadelphia strikes, giving it slightly higher collector interest. Based on current coin price guides and market trends, a 1937 S penny in extra fine condition typically sells for around $1 to $3 in today's U.S. market. The presence of scratches may place the coin toward the lower end of this range, but it still retains value well above its original 1-cent face. Coins in higher grades, such as about uncirculated or uncirculated, naturally command higher prices, while heavily worn or damaged coins sell for less. This makes the 1937 S penny a practical yet desirable addition to many collections. It is important to note that this valuation applies to standard circulation coins. Rare minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars. The ordinary 1937 S wheat penny, however, is valued mainly for its age, condition, and historical context. Minor scratches and light wear do not reduce its historical or educational significance. Instead, they illustrate the coin's life in everyday use. Collectors often appreciate these coins for their authenticity and for the story they tell about American life in the late 1930s, a period of recovery, industrial growth, and cultural change. The color and toning of the coin also affect its appeal. Over time, copper pennies naturally develop brown or reddish-brown patina due to oxidation, and this toning can add character and uniqueness to the coin. While coins with more original red color may fetch slightly higher prices, naturally toned coins in extra-fine condition remain fully collectible. Scratches and light surface wear are typical for coins that have circulated for more than 85 years and add to the narrative of the coin's journey through countless hands. Owning a 1937 S wheat penny in extra-fine condition with minor scratches provides collectors a tangible link to history. It represents a period when Lincoln's image was a familiar symbol on U.S. coinage. Pennies were central to daily life, and American coinage was durable and practical. While its market value may be modest, the historical significance and educational value of this coin are far greater. Collectors can enjoy examining its design, studying its details, and appreciate it as a survivor from the pre-World War II era.
Next up, in this video we are discussing the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, found in fine condition with some scratches, and we will explain its true value in today's market in US dollars. This coin comes from the later years of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and is very common, but it is still an interesting piece of American coin history. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced from 1909 to 1958, and by 1956, the United States Mint was operating at full capacity during a time of economic growth in the post-World War II era. The 1956 D wheat penny is made of bronze, primarily copper, and it weighs about 3.11 grams. Very large numbers of these coins were produced, with hundreds of millions struck at the Denver Mint alone. Because of this high mintage, the 1956 D wheat penny is considered a common date coin and is widely available in circulated condition today. When a coin is described as being in fine condition, it means that there is moderate wear, but most of the major design details are still visible. Abraham Lincoln's portrait should be clear, the date and mint mark should be sharp, and the word Liberty should be readable, though it may be weak in places. On the reverse, the wheat ears should still show detail, even if they are not sharp. However, the presence of scratches counts as damage and lowers the coin's collector appeal, even if the overall wear level would otherwise qualify as fine. In today's market, a 1956 D wheat penny in fine condition with some scratches is not considered rare or valuable. Most examples like this typically sell for around 5 cents to 20 cents. If the scratches are light and the coin has decent color and eye appeal, it might reach around 25 to 30 cents, but it is unlikely to go higher. Because so many problem-free examples exist, collectors usually avoid paying premiums for scratched coins. It is important to understand that scratches and cleaning have a significant impact on value for common coins. Even a light cleaning or polishing can permanently reduce a coin's worth. Cleaning does not remove scratches and often makes them more noticeable, while also damaging the original surface. A cleaned 1956 D wheat penny is often worth only face value to most collectors. There are no major rare varieties or famous high-value errors associated with the 1956 D wheat penny. Its value is almost entirely based on condition, and only high-grade, uncirculated examples without damage sell for higher prices. Those are typically found in old rolls or carefully preserved collections, not in everyday circulation.
Next up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark is a classic mid-20th century coin that continues to hold interest for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin showcases Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse, giving it the nickname Wheat Penny. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities producing Lincoln cents at the time. Holding a 1956 D wheat penny provides a direct connection to post-World War II America, a period of economic growth, societal development, and extensive use of pennies in everyday transactions. Your coin is described as being in dirty condition with some scratches. Dirty condition indicates that the coin has seen significant circulation and environmental exposure over decades, which is common for pennies of this age. In this grade, Lincoln's portrait will show substantial wear, with many details of the hair, facial features, and coat flattened or faded. The wheat stalks on the reverse will also show heavy wear, although their outlines remain discernible. The scratches on the surface and general discoloration reduce its visual appeal, but do not eliminate its historical or collectible value. Coins in dirty condition reflect the coin's life as currency, and collectors often appreciate them as authentic pieces that have passed through countless hands. In terms of market value, the 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition with scratches is modestly valuable. The 1956 D is not considered a rare date because millions were produced, making it a common coin among collectors. Based on current coin price guides and marketplace trends, a 1956 D penny in dirty condition typically sells for around 5 to 15 cents in today's U.S. market. The presence of scratches may place the coin toward the lower end of this range, but it still retains value above its original 1 cent. Coins in higher grades such as fine, very fine, or extra fine command higher prices, while uncirculated coins are the most valuable. This makes a 1956 D penny in dirty condition an affordable entry for collectors seeking to complete a Lincoln wheat set. It is important to note that this value applies to standard circulation coins. Rare minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks can significantly increase the coin's value, sometimes to hundreds of dollars. The ordinary 1956 D wheat penny is valued primarily for its historical context, age, and design. Even with heavy wear and scratches, the coin remains collectible because it has survived decades of use and retains recognizable features of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Collectors often appreciate such coins for their authenticity and the story they tell about American life in the 1950s, when pennies were a vital part of daily commerce. The color and toning of the coin also affect its appeal. Copper pennies naturally oxidize over time, turning brown or black, and a coin in dirty condition may have a dark or uneven patina. While coins with more original red-brown luster may sell for slightly more, naturally toned and heavily circulated coins remain collectible. Scratches and dirt are common for coins of this age and add to the historical narrative, reflecting the many hands and environments through which the coin has passed. Owning a 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition with scratches provides collectors a tangible connection to history. It represents a period when pennies were widely used, Lincoln's image was familiar to generations of Americans, and coins were both functional and symbolic. While its monetary value may be modest, the historical significance and collectible interest of this coin are far greater. Collectors can enjoy examining its design, understanding its circulation history, and appreciating it as a survivor from the mid-20th century. Next up, in this video, we are talking about the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, found in very fine condition with some scratches, and we will explain its realistic value in today's market in US dollars. This coin is from the middle years of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series and is a very common issue, even though many people believe older coins are automatically valuable. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted from 1909 to 1958 and the 1952 D issue was produced during the post-World War II period when the United States Mint was striking coins in very large numbers. The D mint mark under the date indicates that this penny was minted in Denver. Millions of 1952 D wheat pennies were produced, which is why they are still easy to find today in circulated condition. The 1952 D wheat penny is made of bronze, mostly copper, and it weighs approximately 3.11 grams. In very fine condition, the coin shows light to moderate wear. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is clear, with visible hair detail, the date and mint mark are sharp, and the word Liberty is readable. On the reverse, the wheat stalks are well defined, though not fully sharp. However, even in very fine condition, scratches are considered damage and do reduce the value compared to a problem-free coin. In today's market, a 1952 D wheat penny in very fine condition but with some scratches is still considered a common coin. Because of the scratches, collectors usually do not pay a premium. Most examples like this typically sell for around 10 cents to 40 cents. If the scratches are light and the coin has good color and overall eye appeal, it might reach about 50 cents, but prices above that are uncommon for scratched examples. It is important to remember that scratches and cleaning have a strong negative effect on value, especially for common date wheat pennies. Cleaning does not improve the grade and usually lowers the value even more. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if the coin shows natural wear from circulation. There are no famous rare varieties or major high-value errors associated with the 1952 D wheat penny. Its value is almost entirely based on condition. Only uncirculated examples without damage or coins with exceptional original color bring higher prices, and even those are still relatively affordable compared to truly rare wheat pennies. Although this coin is not worth a large amount of money, it still has historical and collectible appeal. It represents everyday American currency from the early 1950s and is often kept by collectors working on complete Lincoln wheat penny sets by date and mint mark.
Next up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic example of one of the final years of the Lincoln wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This series was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse, giving it the nickname Wheat Penny. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the primary U.S. mint at the time. Holding a 1957 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition with brown toning and some scratches connects collectors and enthusiasts to a period in American history when pennies were widely circulated in everyday transactions, and Lincoln's image had long been established as a symbol of American heritage. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with a brown color shade and some scratches. Fine condition indicates that the coin has seen moderate circulation, with noticeable wear on high points, but retaining all major design elements. On a 1957 penny in this grade, Lincoln's portrait will show wear, particularly on the hair and facial features, while the coat details remain partially visible. The wheat stalks on the reverse show flattening, but are still identifiable. The brown color shade is typical for coins of this age, as the original copper surface oxidized naturally over decades. The scratches on the surface slightly reduce the coin's visual appeal, but they do not diminish its collectible or historical value. Coins in fine condition provide a tangible link to the past, showing both circulation wear and longevity. In terms of market value, the 1957 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition with brown toning and some scratches is moderately valuable. The 1957 penny is relatively common, as millions were produced that year at the Philadelphia Mint. Based on current coin price guides and market trends, a 1957 Philadelphia penny in fine condition typically sells for around 10 to 50 cents in today's U.S. market. The scratches and brown color shade may place the coin toward the lower end of this range, but it still retains value above its original 1-cent face. Coins in higher grades, such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated, command higher prices due to better preservation and visual appeal. It is important to note that this valuation applies to standard circulation coins. Rare minting errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can dramatically increase the coin's value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars. The ordinary 1957 Philadelphia wheat penny is valued mainly for its age, design, and condition. Minor scratches and moderate wear do not reduce its historical or educational significance. Instead, they reflect the coin's life in everyday use. Collectors often appreciate these coins for their authenticity and for the story they tell about American life in the 1950s, when pennies were handled extensively and formed part of daily commerce. The color and toning of the coin also affect its appeal. Over time, copper pennies naturally develop a brown patina due to oxidation, while some retain portions of their original red-brown luster. While coins with more original color can sometimes command a small premium, naturally toned brown coins in fine condition remain fully collectible. Scratches and light surface wear are typical for coins that have been in circulation for over 65 years and contribute to the narrative of the coin's journey through countless hands. Owning a 1957 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition with brown toning and minor scratches provides collectors a tangible connection to history. It represents a time when Lincoln's image was a familiar symbol on U.S. coinage. Pennies were central to daily life, and American coinage was durable and practical. While the monetary value of this coin may be modest, the historical significance and educational value are far greater. Collectors can enjoy examining its design, studying its details, and appreciate it as a survivor from the closing years of one of America's most iconic coin series. Even with wear, brown toning, and scratches, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny remains a collectible artifact with historical importance. It illustrates the durability and continuity of American coinage and provides a direct link to the past. For collectors and enthusiasts, holding this coin allows them to study its design, consider its age, and appreciate the legacy of the Lincoln wheat penny series. Its modest market price does not diminish its significance, and a coin in fine condition with brown toning and minor scratches is a meaningful addition to any collection, offering both historical insight and personal enjoyment.
Next up, in this video, we are discussing the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, found in extra fine condition with some scratches, and we will look at its realistic value in today's market in US dollars. This coin comes from the earlier part of the Lincoln wheat penny series, which often makes people assume it must be rare or highly valuable, but condition and mintage numbers are what truly determine price. The Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and the 1937 issue was produced during the late Great Depression era. Pennies dated 1937 were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia version, which we are talking about here, has no mint mark under the date. Large quantities were produced in Philadelphia, making this a common date wheat penny despite its older age. The 1937 no mint mark wheat penny is made of bronze and weighs approximately 3.11 grams. In extra fine condition, the coin shows only light wear. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is sharp, with visible hair detail and facial features. The date and the word Liberty are strong, and on the reverse, the wheat stalks are clearly defined. However, the presence of scratches is important to mention because scratches are considered damage and they reduce the value compared to an extra fine coin with clean original surfaces. In today's market, a problem-free 1937 Philadelphia wheat penny in extra fine condition can be worth a few dollars, but when scratches are present, collectors discount the coin. A 1937 wheat penny with no mint mark in extra fine condition but with noticeable scratches typically sells for around 50 cents to $1. If the scratches are light and the coin still has good color and eye appeal, it may reach the upper end of that range. Heavier or more distracting scratches will push the value closer to the lower end. It is important to understand that collectors place a high premium on surface quality. Even a small number of scratches can move a coin from a collectible grade example to a problem coin. Because many nice, scratch-free 1937 wheat pennies still exist, buyers are usually selective and avoid paying strong prices for damaged pieces. Some people consider cleaning or polishing scratched coins to improve their appearance. This should never be done. Cleaning removes original metal and leaves unnatural surfaces that collectors can easily identify. A cleaned 1937 wheat penny is usually worth less than one that shows honest circulation wear. There are no major ultra-rare varieties or famous errors associated with the 1937 Philadelphia wheat penny that would significantly increase its value. Its price is based almost entirely on condition. Only high-grade, original, uncirculated examples command higher premiums, and those must be free from damage. Even though this coin may not be extremely valuable in monetary terms, it still has strong historical appeal. It represents American life during the 1930s and is a popular coin for collectors building complete wheat penny sets. Many people enjoy keeping coins like this for their age, design, and connection to history. To summarize clearly, a 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark and extra fine condition with some scratches is a common date coin with moderate value. In today's market, its realistic value is usually between about 50 cents and $1, depending on the severity of the scratches and overall eye appeal. While it may not be worth a large sum, it remains a genuine and meaningful piece of American numismatic history.
Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a significant example of mid-20th century American coinage, connecting collectors to a period of global and domestic transition. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, produced from 1909 to 1958, was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin showcases Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse, giving it the popular nickname Wheat Penny. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's primary mint at the time. Holding a 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition allows collectors to connect with the closing year of World War II, a period when pennies were essential to everyday commerce and copper coins were widely circulated in American life. Your coin is described as being in fine condition with some scratches. Fine condition indicates that the coin has seen moderate circulation, with noticeable wear on high points, but retaining all major design elements. On a 1945 penny in this grade, Lincoln's portrait will show wear on the hair, face, and coat details, but the overall design remains clear. The wheat stalks on the reverse will show flattening, but remain identifiable. The scratches on the surface may slightly reduce the coin's aesthetic appeal, but they do not remove its historical or collectible value. Coins in fine condition provide collectors a tangible connection to the past, showing both circulation wear and the coin's durability over time. In terms of market value, the 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition with scratches is moderately valuable. The 1945 penny is a common date, as millions were produced, yet its age and condition make it appealing to collectors who are completing a Lincoln wheat penny collection. Based on current coin price guides and marketplace trends, a 1945 Philadelphia penny in fine condition typically sells for around 10 to 50 cents in today's U.S. market. The presence of scratches may place the coin toward the lower end of this range, but it still holds value above its original 1-cent face. Coins in higher grades, such as very fine, extra fine, or uncirculated, command higher prices, while heavily worn or damaged coins sell for less. It is important to note that this value applies to standard circulation coins. Rare minting errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars. The ordinary 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny is valued primarily for its historical context, age, and condition. Minor scratchings and moderate wear do not diminish its historical or educational significance. Instead, they reflect the coin's life in everyday use. Collectors often appreciate these coins for their authenticity and for the story they tell about life in America during the final year of World War II, when pennies were a staple of commerce. The color and toning of the coin also influence its appeal. Over time, copper pennies naturally oxidize, developing a brown patina, while some retain partial red-brown luster. Coins with more original red coloring may sometimes command a slightly higher price, but naturally toned brown coins in fine condition remain fully collectible. Scratches and light surface wear are common for coins that have been circulated for over 75 years and contribute to the narrative of the coin's journey through countless hands. Owning a 1945 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition with minor scratches provides collectors with a tangible link to history. It represents a time when pennies were essential for daily transactions. Lincoln's image was already a familiar symbol on U.S. coinage, and the wheat penny series continued to provide both functional and aesthetic value. While the monetary value of such a coin may be modest, its historical significance and collectible appeal are far greater. Collectors can enjoy examining its design, studying its details, and appreciating it as a survivor from the mid-1940s.